Hey there, it's John from Tiny, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through TinyMCE's Document Management System Starter Config. You'll find the DMS Starter Config useful if you're building your own standalone document management system, or if you're looking to add document editing capabilities to an existing app like a CRM or a workflow tool. Whether you're building something or extending an existing app, TinyMCE's DMS Starter Config is a great jumping off point to see what's possible with document editing within your app. Now, if you're looking to get the starter config, just head over to tiny.cloud, click on Solutions, and click on DMS. You can view the demo right on that webpage and access the starter config with and without code tips. So one of the things we considered when we built this starter config was trying to offer your users a familiar editing experience to tools that they know and love, like Microsoft Word or Google Docs. That's why we've laid it out in this exact way. We have the undo button, styles, and text formatting all in the places that they would expect it based on the apps that they use. Now, when it comes to document creation, you've got the usual staples that I just mentioned, plus some additional capabilities in the Insert menu, the Format menu, and the Tools menu. The menu bar at the top is a great way to offer your users extra functionality without overwhelming them with toolbar buttons. You'll see you can add special characters, tables, links, images, media, page breaks, table of contents, and much more to really boost your users' productivity and make sure that they can create documents the way that they're used to. We've also added word count and find and replace, which are two features that your users will definitely be expecting in your document editing experience. Now, depending on your use case, you may also want to give your users the ability to express themselves a bit more. This can come in the form of advanced image editing. So for example, I can drag in an image here and resize it to the dimensions that I'm looking for, rotate it, and even modify some of the settings. For example, being able to crop it, change the brightness, and whatever else your users might want to do to make the image fit their content. Another plugin that we've included in the starter config is Enhanced Media Embed. What this allows your users to do is copy content from rich media sources, for example, YouTube, and just paste the URL in and it'll generate a preview and an embed with that media type. It can also be used on social media platforms like Twitter, for example, where it'll generate a card of that tweet. This is a great feature to save your users time and really empower them to develop that rich content that they're looking to do. Now, as a developer or product manager, you're probably thinking a little bit about how do I control the editing experience so that my content creators can't go off the deep end and create some monster that won't render properly in my app. That's okay. TinyMCE lets you control and customize the toolbar to exactly how you want it. So you can take this starter config and then pare it down to exactly what you need for your editing experience. You can also apply a custom skin or use one of several pre-built skins and icon packs and control the HTML output to fit the needs of your app, whether it's inline CSS or HTML schema or anything like that. And also, when it comes to control, you want to be able to let your users copy and paste content from different apps without having the HTML all messed up. So that's why TinyMCE developed Power Paste, which works with popular apps like Google Docs, Excel, and Microsoft Word, that lets your users copy fairly complex content into the editor and have the option to preserve the formatting or remove it. Let's take a look at this document on the left here. It has some fairly complex formatting, including tables with merged cells and borders and images. So we'll just copy this over into TinyMCE and see how it looks. We'll keep the formatting. And there it is. The content is copied over exactly how it is in Microsoft Word. Now, as you build out your document editing experience, one of the things that comes to mind is compliance. Compliance with brand standards, compliance with quality standards, and anything else. Two plugins that we included in the DMS starter config are Spellchecker Pro, which allows you to spell check up to a number of languages and use your own custom dictionaries, as well as Link Checker, which alerts users when they create a link to a URL that is non-existent. And lastly, when you're creating a document editing experience, you may want to think about collaboration. In the starter config, we included the comments plugin, which lets people add comments in a way that they're used to in the document so they can have conversations around the content. Some other plugins not included in the starter config, but that you may want to consider adding to your document editing experience are mentions and real-time collaboration, both which you can find more about on our website. Okay, so what we're looking at on the left is the starter config with code comments. The code comments help you understand what's going on in the starter config and link you to the relevant help docs to learn more. So at the beginning here, we have our selector, basically selecting which HTML element we want to apply the editor to. We've listed all the plugins that we want to include, some of them premium, some of them are free. Of course, if you want to try out the premium plugins with the DMS starter config, you just have to sign up for a 14-day free trial at our website. We have the toolbar set up here. We've set a height for the editor, and we've put the toolbar in sticky mode, which basically means as you scroll, the toolbar will remain at the top so that your users can always access it. We've specified a custom thin icon pack, which really gives it that minimal look, and there's lots of other icon packs available too. We've set up autosave, and we've done some basic configurations of the TinyComMCE plugin. Next, we've set up the content style configuration. So this is CSS that you can apply inside the editor when TinyMCE loads. We usually recommend loading it from an external CSS file, but because the starter config is all in one place, we embedded it in line here. One of the things you'll notice is when the editor is at a wider width, it shows what your standard page width would look like. And then similar to other DMSs, as you get to a smaller window width, it moves to a more responsive mobile experience, which is what users generally expect. Okay, so that is a quick walkthrough of the TinyMCE DMS starter config. Hopefully it gives you a bit of inspiration as to what you can do with rich text editing within your document software. Head over to tiny.cloud, sign up for your 14-day free trial, download the DMS starter config, give it a try, and see if you like it within your app. If you're looking for more inspiration on how to use TinyMCE within your document editing solution, check out the description at the bottom of the video or head over to our blog for more info. Good luck.